Mutter's Log. Date 4 July 2018. Sofa aka Phil Smell speaking. Just wanted to record this audio update to keep everyone posted on what I'm working on, or at least what I want to work on. It's 4th of July and my family's holding a party, so I'm gonna be a bit busy with that over the next couple days. First of all, let's talk about Chipstick Bridge. If you couldn't tell, it came out a bit half-baked. It was mainly an experiment in design and gameplay elements. Originally, I wanted it to be a small-scale, infantry-focused map, but found that it was a bit too big for that. So I threw in some tanks for good measure. I also wanted to put in planes, but I made the mistake of setting a release date and ran out of time. So I plan on revisiting this map at some point to add these planes, maybe a bomber for Sylvania and fighters for Hetland, and also to make the push west across the bridge a bit more interesting. Right now, you got just this flat, boring bridge and a uncrossable river. So I'm thinking of adding some cover across the span of the bridge and some barges or small boats for crossing the river from either side. That might make things a little more fun when you're on the attack and on the defense. Next are some new weapons. Neff had finished his take on an anti-tank rifle a while back. It's smaller than the one we got now, and it's magazine-fed. So that's going in. It's intended to be less damaging than the 20mm, but it's less cumbersome and it has a higher rate of fire. So there's gonna be a bit of rebalancing on that front. Like the 20mm we currently have is gonna be a lot more powerful and longer range. There's also a machine gun I'm working on. The infantry version of the one seen on Sylvanian tanks, like the Chell 2's coaxial. Something I want to try with this and the AT rifles is restricting hipfire, making it so you have to aim down sights in order to use them. Unfortunately, we can't mount them on things, like you can in Day of Defeat or not Company of Heroes, what the fuck am I talking about? Red Orchestra. But I do want to play around with deployable weapons like mortars or mountain guns. Unfortunately, there's no concrete plans for that yet, but something I'm going to want to try. Now, third on the docket is the next map. I intend for this one to be a large-scale combined arms battle, with wide stretches of open terrain geared toward vehicle combat, broken up by more close-quarter sections with multiple points so the focus can shift to infantry. I'm also debating on whether to use the artillery radio, as seen in previous maps, or letting players and bots control batteries or individual guns manually. I know we said we're kind of full up on ideas right now, and we aren't exactly looking for suggestions. We got plenty, don't worry about it. But they're still appreciated, and if you got anything you want to see in the next map, you can let us know. Haven't gotten started on the map itself yet, at least beyond planning, but I have started making some transport vehicles that are going to be essential for it, namely the Sylvanian track carrier called the Sovietsy tractor, and the Hedek truck. I'm also thinking of making variations on these, like variants of both vehicles with, say, machine guns, or anti-tank weapons, or artillery pieces strapped to them. New medium and heavy tanks are also things I want to work on, and they're going to be starting to veer a bit more into the World War II territory, with greater mobility and armament. No release date on any of this, since last time I set a deadline, Chipstick Bridge came out a bit underwhelming. Now, folks were asking about a Patreon a while back, and I know I've had a list of reasons why we might not want that. Chief among them, I got a handful of people helping me, and I wasn't really sure what kind of cut they'd want, or if I just decided to take all the money if they would be understandably flustered. But I am between jobs right now, money's getting a little tight, and I have been spending pretty much all my time working on this. I won't go into the details, but I should be able to start working full-time again in early to mid-August. So after taking up the idea of a tip jar with the other devs, they seem to be okay with it. So that's something I might be doing. I'm not going to try and monetize this mod, because screw that. But this would just be a thing for people to give to if, they wanted to help me out. Again, not trying to make money off the mod. Not trying to panhandle. Just setting up a tip jar. All that being said, I know I've been on this before, but I just wanted to say I'm really flabbergasted that people have taken this level of interest or any level of interest in my project. I was thinking that I'd be one of like 3 people playing it, but I've gotten a lot of help from folks like Vel, El Papa, Eliphaser, Neff, and the rest. And, from all of you for giving me a reason to actually make something out of this. I have no idea that folks like Baron would be showcasing my maps on their channels. It's just crazy. So a big thanks to everybody. Glad you've been digging my stuff. Here's hoping I can continue to deliver in the future.